Good morning, everyone. Adam here with RecordKrate. How are you? Ah, came in a little late today, running a little late. I wasn't feeling my best yesterday, so I'm glad I was able to get some sleep this morning. I haven't even said hello to Nico, so I barely just walked in. So, good morning. How are you? I hope everybody's doing well. Let's have some water. I need some water. Absolutely. Welcome to Record Talk number 5. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about are records too expensive in 2024? And just talk with us a little about that. I think sometimes we notice prices based upon what we have in our bank account, what funds are available. Um, I certainly do. Can I afford to purchase this record today? Can I do this? Can I do that? Based upon what funds are available, and it's a very common occurrence. And so there you go. But I think about when I first opened Record Crate, and I was not bringing in new pressings for at least a year after I opened. And we talked about there weren't that many records that were being pressed um, currently, in 2013 and 14 and 15, you know, but now how many releases are available every week? There's just tons of them. And not only myself, but other record stores we're being super careful about the records we bring in, just because they're expensive. So I think about probably one of the earlier records that I would bring in on a regular basis was Amy Winehouse Back to Black. And the domestic release, which is a little smaller than the UK release, I think there's a few less songs. But I used to sell that record for 19, $20 new, and now it's much more than that. And I realize things go up, but did that have to go up that much? And so I was just kind of curious. Love to hear your reactions. Love to hear your talk. I know that some of Blue Note, for example. Holy smoke! The value of Blue Note from the '60s, I mean the '50s and '60s, have just gone crazy. Yeah. So it's amazing. And so when people bring records in for a buyback, I have to compensate them for that, which is no problem. But it it is making a difference. I'm having to pay more records and pay for more for records when people bring them in as a buyback, and so there we go. Hey, good morning, Nick. When you buy new records, do you order them from one distributor or a couple? Sometimes four or five or six. Nick, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. I like your Pixies icon. Um, we have something called one stops, and so for RSD titles, I just go with one, so I can kind of keep up with what I've ordered and where it is. But yeah, um, some distributors have certain things and some have other things. There's a primary distributor that I like to work with, just because the longer you stay with one distributor, you do get a little bit of a price cut, and then they help out with allocations. Valued customer, let's give them better allocations than new customer, that kind of thing. And then with the record store day, they help out. I prefer to pay for my records as I get them, but for record store day, they will ship the records to us, and we pay for them a week later, or at least that's somebody set up with them. So yeah, um, yes, Nick. So I ordered from several, and there are tons and tons and tons. I get emails every week from different people, different distributors, very small labels that are popping up, which is great. I love it, and I like to support that stuff. But for me now, when I bring in new stuff, I try to bring in tried and true records that I think will sell, 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 sell. And yeah, I only ask because I work at a guitar and amp repair shop. Oh my gosh, that is awesome, Nick. Um, yeah, we got 3 distributors. Oh yeah, I can imagine you probably get more from. I can imagine there's probably 3 different other places or other places you get from. Yeah. What's your job at these repair shops, Nick? Um, I did a lot of repairs before my eyes went bad, and so John, one of my cool cats that helped me out, I dropped my glasses. I don't think I need them. I've been teaching him how to do some stuff, and I just stand over him and say, "Do this, do this, do that," and then occasionally zero in and say, "Oh yeah, that's right, that's good." And so I actually pulled out a piece of equipment last night and put it up to the front counter so I can say, "Hey, let's work on this," and he'll be like, "Okay." But yeah, he's been doing some good stuff and learning some stuff, which is really cool. I helped him restore a turntable that he took home with him, and I can't wait to hear back from him when it what I was doing. So yeah, um, yeah, I was just thinking about yeah. So does your guitar repairing tube? Uh, you don't accept solid state. That is incredible, Nick. It's so good to learn that about you. Uber respect. Yeah, Uber respect. Nick, I'm sure you know that I purchased a. I didn't purchase the space in Wake Forest I moved into 7 years ago was a TV repair shop, and the family just left back so much stuff. But I have some um, literature that was left behind. Um, Sam's photo facts. I have some early Sam's photo facts that were bound and cool things like that. I kind of thumbed through them. I see nothing. A lot of television stuff, which is great, and some amplification. But yeah. So there you go. But that's really cool. Congratulations on that cool job you have. Yeah, I love messing with guitars. Uh, I do have some old tubes, Nick. Uh, One day, I have a lot of those Zenith um, totes that Mr. TV repairman would go into your house with the tote and do your 300-pound television, do it at your house rather than take it back with you. Um, so I have some of those totes. There's some tubes in there, but I think they're all television tube repairs. No, I don't think there's any that are would be desirable for unless somebody says, all of a sudden we do figure out that this tube right here is in demand and we can do this and this and to do a quick mod and this is a good tube. So that kind of stuff. And so, you know, no 6L6 or no 12AX7s and things like that. Oh, a tube carrier. Is that what they're called? Yeah. Do a quick search. I better plug my computer in. We had a listening party last night. And, my computer is up front. And I need to plug it in because the batteries can go down. Tube carrier. I have some Zeniths. I have an RCA tube, and I think they're really cool. RCA tube carrier. Yes, yes. Thank you for letting me know what they're called. I have a beautiful, I think I have 5 or 6 of them, Nick, and I just kind of like, they're not for sale yet. And so, yeah, I gotta find my tab where I was talking to everybody. Unless I lost it. Here I am. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, But I have a beautiful Zenith one. I think the Zenith logo is really cool. I got 5 of them now. Some of them, the Tolex or whatever they put on the side, the vinyl, um, is one is ripped and all, but I haven't glued it. I haven't tried to repair it. But yeah, yeah. So they're full of tubes, and one of these days I'll reach back there. We put them on the shelf in the back. They're just lined up against the shelf in the back. So if you're shopping, you can see it, but you don't have access to it. Yeah, so yeah, that's really neat. I wish I had made the connection when I first got this space. But the family let people in there, and they just grabbed and grabbed and grabbed and grabbed, and they made a mess before I got the building. But it's okay. Everything's good. Hopefully, some people got some stuff they can use. Speaking of stuff you can use, and we're talking about vinyl records, I remember this record behind me, Whipped Cream and Other Delights, would just come in with almost every buyback I had. There was always a Whipped Cream and Other Delight, and it became a joke. It's like, oh, look, another Whipped Cream and Other Delights. It's a wonderful record. Play this record, it's great. Um, and so I would put one out for sale, then have extras, and I would just put them in the back. And it's just amazing. And so um, little by little, I just started keeping them. But now they're selling for a little bit of money. Not super valuable, but I don't want to have to go around paying $10 for this record so I can have the next one and have the next one. You bought a tube carrier years ago full of tubes. Almost lost it in my pants. Not all tubes work for audio. There are some oddballs. Yeah, there was a lot of television tubes, lots of television tubes. But lost contact over the years. My buddy Tim up in Durham. Uh, he used to be the QC quality control guy for CARR amplification. Have you ever worked on a car amp? And so Tim decided to go in business for himself and do repairs at home. And Tim's worked on a lot of my tube amplification. And I've even said, "Hey Tim, you just want to buy this? I don't have any desire to keep it." He said, "Yeah, I'll just take it." And so he would buy it, and you know, cool things like that. I really wish I stayed in contact with Tim. Um, when he opened up his business at home, and I've been there many times, and it's wonderful, and he's doing great. Sure have worked on cars, very well made. Yeah, Steve is a cool guy. I've met Steve. I don't know Steve, but through yeah, that's cool. How about that? It is a big world. Point to point, hand wired beauty, and yeah. And so he would inspect every one of them before they left the factory or the boutique, whatever we want to call it, before they were made available for. And then he would play them and just make sure they are okay. And Steve, I'm not sure if he still works for him or not, but hopefully he does. And then there's always a traveling band that comes into town. It's like, hey, we need our amplifier is not working correctly, and then Tim would step up and help. I think I don't know. He told me stories. So and so was in town, and their guitarist amplifier wasn't working right, so they worked on their Princeton or something like that. So it's just kind of neat. But Nick, I still have a lot of amplifiers, and I still have a whole lot of guitars. And little by little, I need to. Hopefully, the price of those are going up. We're talking about records. Hopefully, the price of those are going up, and I'll be able to make some bank on that. And which is good. Which is good. Yeah, I tell you, my lighting is way wrong, and it's definitely showing off my beautiful haircut. Yes, it is. And right there. Okay, cool. So yeah. So if you're watching the podcast, watching this stream, thank you so much. If you're watching it later, thank you so much. I'd love to hear in the comments what you feel about the price of records in 2024. Do you feel they're too expensive? Has it slowed down your record buying because of the price point? Um, and if it's slowed down record buying, yeah. I mean, Billy Strings, the new record came out. Double disc? Should it really be $50? Should it really, really, really be $50? ELO reissue out of the blue. What is that, $40? Should it really be $40? I didn't bring any examples, but yeah, it's just crazy. And not to mention anything with the Vertigo label. UK pressing comes to America. Beautiful swirl is gorgeous, but we pay for that swirl. And it's just crazy. It's just crazy. And I think some of this is the collecting aspect. I always think of myself as building a listening library, buying records, putting them in my library so I can listen to them and listen to them and listen to them. And I think some people buy them and say, "Look what I got. I'm going to put it over here so everybody can see it, but I'm not going to play it." And so, yeah, I'm just trying to learn more about. Um, I don't have those crazy algorithms and those crazy ways of grabbing data like some of these large online companies do, but just trying to understand, because the more I understand, the better I can serve customers and the better I can buy to help customers and cool things like that. So there we go. I do want to thank everybody for coming in. Sorry I was late. Uh, yeah, but it's all good. It's all good. We're going to listen to some records today and make it happen. Records new and old are getting outrageous in price. I'll never be able to own my collection. That's exactly right, Nick. I'll never be able to own my collection if I hadn't been doing it for 30 plus years. You know, I'm pulling things out of the vault, and in the vault is a lot of my personal records that I'm like, hey, this is the stuff I want to keep. And I'll sell them. One, because I don't need them. I may have listened to it and decided that's not one to keep and listen to. So I'll offer it for sale in the shops. Two, I need to thin out. I need to thin this place out. Um, this building is going to come down. And, I was telling John, I said, John, here's what we need to work on today. We need to work on things that will, one, bring in money, income for us, and two, things that get out the door. So we're listing things on an online auction platform. And Nick, solid state, yes, we don't have any tube amplifications that I can recall, but receivers, amplifiers, solid state, listing those as parts and repair, and then shipping out a lot of those. And there's a lot of people, whether it's a full corporation or a full company or somebody who does things in their garage. Uh, and I'm really happy for them to take the time. I just don't have the time, and my eyes don't work like they used to recap, to replace all these blue capacitors that we had in the late 70s and early 80s that are just failing. I think about this Yamaha right here. It needs all sorts of things. Solid state is fine for audio power amps. It's just not for guitar amps. I hear you. I hear you. You're exactly right. Um, Guitar amplification does sound best with that. Hey Nick, what's your personal amplifier? What's your personal go-to amp? Um, I'm going to guess it's probably either one that you made yourself, or it's a boutique amp. Yeah, that's what I guess. And I'm guessing it's probably a 12-inch driver. Yeah, that's just my guess. Yeah. Okay. Guitar amplifier. I'm sorry, your guitar amplifier. And I'm sure. I mean, I've heard some nice tube things for audio too, home audio. Absolutely. I don't try to bash what people enjoy and what people like. Um, Like I said earlier, Joe Williams Jr. says every LP, did he say every LP has a, sorry, Joe, every LP has a home? Yeah. I found that Joe quote. He'll be mad with me. He won't be mad. Joe. Yeah, I think it is. I gotta look it up. It's on. We got a YouTube channel. It was the title. Oh, Frank from American Picker died. Bless his heart. I, you know, I do like tube amplification for guitar, but I love my JC 120. Joe Williams says, I believe every LP has a home. And so I'm going to stick with that, Joe. Yeah. My Marshall JCM 900 and a vintage 4x12 cabinet has always been alive and touring rig. Very good. I don't know the pedigree of Marshall, but did the JCM 900 come with a plexi, or was that a different one? Was it the 4-port, or was it? I don't know my pedigree. A friend of mine loaned me a JCM 900 for a long time, and it was fun to play with. Absolutely. The music I was doing, it just didn't really seem to fit. But he did have a Jackson amplifier. I don't recall if it was solid state or if it was tube. Man, that was a beast. It really was. Yeah. JCM 900, very cool. 4x12. We're not seeing that stuff show up as much on stages anymore, Nick. We're seeing smaller and smaller and smaller stuff. Even Robbie, who, pardon me, was involved in a local club, talk about how some of the traveling bands would just travel with their effects pedals and relied upon the house and stage monitoring for things. And so, yeah, respect the person who can carry an amplifier around. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Before I take off, folks, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'm trying to do this 3 times a week. Yeah, absolutely. Came out in 92. I got an early rare Marshall head and a 76 from 76 and 2 Fender Twins. There's some good stuff there. I'm sure probably buried in the warehouse, I have some amplifiers that need to be repaired. If I find any tube stuff, I'll definitely reach out to you, Nick, and see if we can make it happen. Yeah. But thank you, everybody, for watching. If you're watching the playback, share with me a little bit about what you think about the price of records in 2024. I really like this this quote right here from Nick. Records are new, records new and old are getting outrageous. Hey, good morning, Glenn. I am up early, and I barely made it here. I was a little late. I hope you're doing well, Nick. I hope you're doing well, Glenn, and do the screenshot. Glenn, we've been talking about the price of records, and I think you can relate to that with some of the vintage Taylor Swift that you found at work. Records new and old are getting outrageous in price. I'll never be able to own my collection if I hadn't been doing it for 30 plus years. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm usually up at 4 or 5, but because I have to come down and take care of baby girl, then get things rolling for the day, and I can do so much work in 2 hours here versus getting it done throughout the day when I'm open. And yeah, and then the phone just rings like crazy. Yeah. Oh, Swamp, we were just talking, Glenn, we were just talking about, so Nick works in the electronic repair field, and he was asking about distributors, and I'm sure with you, with your motorcycle repair, you're you're working with other distributors, and I'm sure you've seen a difference in price over the years. And we're just kind of focusing on the last 4 years and and how things are in 2024. Parts perhaps you're buying for resale or for repair, and and how the prices are. All right, take care, everybody. Thank you so much. Rock on. Um, all that cool stuff. I'll be back on Friday. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. I'll find us something. So, hey, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Go play some records. See ya.